This guy was saying that if you just do like 20 minutes a day of any particular thing, learning an instrument, learning a language, but you do it every day, the main thing is the doing it every day, you will be better than 95% of people at that thing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if that's true, and I don't know what the data is on that. I haven't investigated it, but I've heard other things like it, and I've seen data-driven examples where, all you need is to do something regularly.
Seems logical.
Yeah. Yet no one does it because our natural state is not one of discipline and consistency.
Agreed.
Yeah. And we are disciplined and consistent when we're forced to be. So for instance, I have a duty to my children. I have to do it. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to...
But that's driven out of necessity, right? I'd say we are actually quite consistent people in two facets. The one driven out of necessity, as you just pointed out, and the one for which is pleasure seeking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be told to eat every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that you could argue...
You'll hunt down that ice cream.
That's it. You can argue it's a necessity, but I know that I eat beyond my necessities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all do. So I think there is we are disciplined in some respects.
Yeah. But for instance, anyone who goes to a gym, but has gains, gets the gains, right? They'll all tell you will not experience anything for months, but just stay in the game. And there's even these reels that are like designed to motivate you and pump you up, right? But when you go to a gym, the best thing you can do is have a routine and a program. Go every day and then have arm day, have leg day, and arm day and leg day look a certain way. Yeah, and it almost becomes automatic. Yeah, you're so in the routine. That is what an institution does, in my view. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a well-functioning, well-meaning institution that's not designed for control is designed to give you the discipline that you don't have yourself.
It's organized spirituality.
Yeah,
and organization is a plus. It's not a negative.
Yeah,
and I think, to touch upon two of the things you mentioned, one is the maturity one, and then I'll talk on this one first. I think that's a big role of the institutionalization. It's creating organization where there is otherwise quote unquote freedom, but really it's just a free-for-all fantasy land.
Yeah.
And I think people need to be willing to submit to that. If you think you're going to transition from material living, an uncontrolled mind, to the perfect path, and immediate progress and immediate realizations, doing it your own way, regulated by yourself with no controlling mechanisms whatsoever, it's delusional. It really is delusional. And I think people need to embrace that in a non-judgmental way. It's not that we're pointing the finger and saying, you're all stupid. We're all conditioned. And that doesn't make you stupid, it makes you conditioned. It's like a sick person. A sick person can't be blamed for being sick, but factually you're sick.
Yeah.
And if you accept that, you can take the smartest route out of that sickness. And it's the same thing here. It's like, okay, as you were just saying, the data may support this, that if you perform an organized sort of set of practices, methodical, consistent, addressing the exact root issues that are making you conditioned, that are making you quote unquote sick, you're going to heal much better than a sort of scattered random approach. And I think I fully agree with you in the sense that what it should be, the institution, is that it's the systematized approach to this that is able to disseminate to anyone in any situation that doesn't require the physical presence of the leader of whatever it is, because it's just a well-oiled machine that helps you, it takes you 90% of the way. I will always say that there are things the institution can never provide, because life is a bit too customized to the individual that the institution can't fully accommodate all of that. But if it gets you 90% of the way, that's fantastic. The other point about maturity, I think people need to start to see things in a different way. I think a lot of the hang-ups people have with institutions is the loss of freedom, the loss of personality and individualism, because they feel like they become just a number, right? A replica of others, a robot. I'm supposed to follow the same rules, dress the same way, attend the same events, whatever else, and meet the same criteria as everyone else. And I think I understand the concern and the fear of individualism, but I also think it ties into people's understanding of what spirituality truly is meant to be. Because if you buy into the Vedic conception, especially the Vaishnava conception, of the false ego, that we're actually wrongly identifying with ourselves, and who we think we are is not who we really are. And there has to be a sadhana, as a practice-based transition from who you're not to who you really are. Then you look at the organization and say, if this is in any way diminishing my individualism, in any way diminishing my quote-unquote freedoms, it's actually to my benefit, because it just gives me a vehicle by which I can gradually relinquish this notion of who I think I should be and who I want to be and who I am. I can relinquish that and then serve. It's a vehicle of service. And service is one of the key things that we talk about in our path that helps you transition from someone who wants to be served, a pleasure-seeking individual, which is what human beings are. It doesn't matter religion, doesn't matter. Just this is general observation about human beings. We seek pleasure. We seek gratification. The idea of relinquishing that in favor of seeking to serve in any capacity. I'm not making it specific now to serving a deity or God or whatever, but just service, using the tools that you have to make a difference in this world and a difference in the lives of others. It makes you, in a positive way, forget yourself. I don't mean neglect yourself, because you're not being neglected by this process. If you really give yourself to service, the beauty of it is that you're not neglected. You are satisfied, you are made happy. And if everyone participates in this service culture, you'll always have what you need, right?
Yeah, I think that's totally correct. And if people could just stick with this one truth, that I don't think gets voiced actually anywhere, or maybe it does and I'm not aware enough, but if people could understand that you have to win your happiness like you have to win anything else, if they could just understand that, because the problem is, it's this feeling in the material world that if I get whatever I want, and that happiness is something effortless. There's an effortlessness to happiness, and it's effort that makes me unhappy. And that is actually the kind of ill and corruption of society that we live in at the moment. People have never had so much, they've never had it so easy, and they've never been so unhappy.